Welcome to the Back Nine Six Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 104 of the Back Nine Six Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. I'm back in the saddle, baby.
Oh, we are. I think we are. Synergy.
Oh yeah,
Synergy.
Garage beer with limes.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Virtual cheers to you, pal.
And on Cinco de Mayo too, we got a little lime flavor for the Mexican holiday.
Yeah, it is lime beer season for sure. This time of year is like when I'm ready to fire it up.
There's shandy season and there's lime season.
Yeah, but as
they overlap. They do overlap.
Shandy season is very short though. That's the thing. I
feel like for you, not for me. Not for me.
I think we almost skipped it this year, to be honest. Like the weather was so shit.
I didn't publicly, celebrate, but
you just privately indulged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. April's in the books. Half marathon's in the books. I'm back on beers again. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, and you for the crowd out there, you broke 2 hours, right?
I did. Yeah, 1:59:32, which was not my goal. Was 1:58. Kind of realized quickly that wasn't going to happen after the surgery and the shortened training and just how bad training was going. But my secondary goal was like just break 2 hours again. So I lost to my 2023 version of me. I ran it faster then by a few seconds. But yeah, we were under 2 hours. That once I got out there, it was like that was the ultimate goal. Honestly, ran pretty good for the first 5 or so.
Really?
And then the hills, man. Once I got to the hills.
Yeah, I did some research, obviously looking up your guys's your final times and everything. The elevation change is daunting, to say the least. Yeah, it's like over 500 feet of elevation change. That's daunting for someone like me, anyway.
For anyone, I mean, people that are in Cincinnati listening to this will know what I'm talking about. But like, you run down 7th Street, which is all flat, and it's super cool. There's tons of people, super energetic. Everybody's cheering for you. Then you make the turn up past the casino and stuff. And it's just a gradual incline. And then you make a right to go up to the conservatory and the art museum. And that's like a super sharp hill. And then I always forget about like the secondary like climb to Eden Park.
Yes.
Which always like sneaks up on me a little bit. And that's where I just like my pace died and I couldn't recover it.
I mean, rightfully so. It should die. I feel like if someone's running 6, they're probably going to end up running 8 or 9 at that point, like in those miles that are going up the hills. But if you're running like 8 or 9, you're probably more closer to 12 or 13, up those hills. So it puts everybody behind. It just depends on how fast you're going before that.
Yeah,
it's kind of my take on it.
Our first mile was a little slower just because you're getting out of the traffic or whatever. But all the up to mile 6, I broke 9, like a 9-minute pace. It was like in the 8:40s, 8:50. But then I think it was on 7. Once I got to 7, it was like 9:40. And there was just no coming back. I just could not get back under 9 from that point on. But all in all, look, I did it. It was awesome. The weather after how bad it was on Saturday was actually pretty good to run in on Sunday. Still rained on us, but it was like chillier and overcast, so you weren't like dying, with the sun beating on you or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to shout out Tyler in Tampa, of course, who he paced me for about half of the race, and then I had to let him go. I was like, "Bud, you got to run your own race. I'm not going to hold you back any longer." His official time, I don't know. The chip times are weird because, like, depending on when you cross the line and all that stuff. 1:56:41 for him, so he got me by a couple minutes. And then most impressive thing I witnessed all of yesterday was Gunth running a 2:01:15. Straight up, like, very minimal training, decided last minute he wanted to do it. My guy's out there in the Nike Everyday Comfort socks.
Look, impressive.
Just an athlete. That's all I can say about it, really.
I mean, that is impressive. I was like worried about him dying. I did not think he was going to even sniff close to 2 hours. I was thinking like 2:30 maybe, with little to no training. But and to think that our guy was crushing some vodka waters 2 days beforehand. I mean, good for him. I think
if there's anything I learned during all this is like the clean living does not have to be. I tried to live so clean, it did not help me.
No, I and my neighbor who ran the half as well, like he doesn't like crush beers, but I mean like he had some beers like last weekend. I don't know if he had any on Friday, but like it's not like complete clean living. I feel like as long as you prepare yourself leading up to the race and like make sure you're hydrated, I think the rest kind of takes care of itself. Like it's not going to help you, is I guess to the point where you think it would.
Yeah, I was doing it more from like a goals and health perspective.
Yeah,
but even so, I didn't get the benefits I thought I would out of it.
Yeah,
like my weight like just straight up like stayed the same this whole time, even though I'm running extra. I'm not eating sweets and drinking. Like they kind of just get to a point where it's like you're you are what you are almost.
Yeah,
I don't want to give up on changing or improving or whatever. Like I still want to try to. I'm going to run it next year. I'll set an aggressive goal again, but like I don't know. We'll see.
I'm tinkering with this idea of doing the half marathon.
I mean, I think you could do it for sure. It's not going to be fun.
Look, it's not going to be fun, and I'm not a runner. Like, look, you put me on a bike, like you want me to swim a lot, like I'll do those things, right? Like the whole the idea of running has never just been fun to me. Like I love biking. Like I would, dude, put me on a bike. I'll go biking for 20 miles if you need me to. Like put me in a pool. I'll do as many laps as you want me to do. And I would consider that kind of fun. Running's never been fun for me, but I had like a slight feeling of FOMO on Sunday, a little bit.
It is like it's a really cool event for the city, right? Like,
and I think maybe that's more what it's FOMO. Like, and then you guys were down there, and I'm like, man, like I know I wouldn't have finished anywhere near you guys, but like just the idea of finishing would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, Gunth made a good point afterwards. He was like, "This is just like the kind of event that like a good city should have." Like
should have a good marathon.
Yeah, you had that full community feel. Everyone just like really positive, cheering you on. Like I'm slowly dying. Like mile 10, 11, people were just like, "Oh, you got like 2 left. You got it." Cheering you on. And on top of that, like I before we move on, I would have to shout out Susie and her sister Kelly. They brought the boys down. That's been the best. Both times I've run this, the best moment of that is when I make that turn where they were, and then you see them and Zach and Cole's face. They're cheering me on. Get a quick high five. Like that is awesome. Like it's hard to replace those kind of moments and the feeling of accomplishment you get when you are done. After you are like finally caught your breath and everything.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I did. I had a little FOMO to the point where I'm like, I think I need to I think I want to do it next year. I look, I'm not going to finish anywhere near you guys. I've even with the year of training, not going to finish anywhere near you guys, but I think I'm going to do it next year. I'm not a big run event guy, but I had some FOMO yesterday. I did a little bit.
At a minimum, you can join us at the after party.
Yeah, no, I'm running. That's my thing. If I go down just for the after party, I'll never run it. So I need to run it, and then
That's smart. That's smart. There's tons of other events throughout the weekend too. If you wanted to go shorter.
No. I think it's an all or nothing thing. I think the half marathon or it's nothing. That's kind of my feeling on it.
I love that. All right, let's get you signed up there. Hey, registration's open, baby. Let's
look at
fire
that.
it in.
See, that's the other thing is I have to sign myself. I won't do it right now, but I have to sign myself relatively early. So I'm like, this is it. Like I've already spent the money on it. I kind of have to do it now. I can't if I wait until 2 months before or do what Gunth did a month before, that won't cut it. I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But if I sign up in I don't know, October or September and kind of build up to it, I think it'll be best for me.
Yeah. Next year, look, I can't get appendicitis again, so hopefully nothing else props up. But that should give me I want to have a longer training window. That's the moral of the story here is I want to do it with a proper training window for it.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. If you are here, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back9Sixpack and hit us with a like if you're watching on YouTube. Look, our golf time, it's league time. We got the email today. The league is officially back on Wednesday nights.
It's the best email ever. When it came out at 10, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
I know.
It just feels right. When things feel right, that feels right.
It does. That to me, that feels like the real unofficial kickoff to the golf season for us.
For sure.
Us,
yeah,
us
absolutely.
Hawks. But yeah, look, last year in the league, I had a goal set around like, okay, I'm not going to have, I'm going to have 10 rounds out of a double. I think I'm going to run that back again. Feeling like this year I'll be ready, more prepared to just play in league. Last year I had the job change, and coming from downtown was always awful. So this year, full work from home situation. Going to be able to roll over, hit some balls, hit some putts,
Yeah, work yourself in. Maybe it alleviates like the double starts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like I got to,
That's the hope.
Go out there and, be ready to play golf instead of just rolling up and like.
Yeah, a couple putts, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, my goal this year is when I play in league, I want to be able to, I'm going to walk and carry.
You're going to carry as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Wednesday night, I'm going to walk and carry. That's the plan anyway, until we get like that first 97-degree day. And then it's going to be like, cart sounds good. Like,
right. Yeah, that's bold. That's bold. I'll probably still walk, but I'm going to use the push cart for sure.
See, to me, like with this new bag, shout out Vessel. I don't think it's much different than pushing. Like there's the weight's still there. I'd rather have it on my back than out in front of me. Mm. That's kind of my take on it. But this bag is so light that carrying is not like so daunting. I was told that I shouldn't take this bag to Scotland because it might get dirty. But I feel like I'd be doing like my caddy a disservice by not taking this bag. So
just too nice.
Yeah. So
yeah, I might have to look into that for my next bag. I always had a carry stand bag, switched to the cart bag in my last purchase, and I'm just like I'm just filling it up with more shit, and now it weighs a ton.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like when you switch to a smaller bag, which I did when I got the Stitch bag, you realize like how little stuff you actually need in your golf bag, like because there's just not the pockets for it. When I was switching over to the Stitch bag, I'm like, oh man, I really need this. I'm like, I haven't pulled this out of the bag ever. Like it's just been sitting in here. So you really do realize like I don't really need a ton of stuff. Now I'm sure that'll be very different in Scotland, with the changes of weather and rain and stuff like that. Possibly, I might feel different about it over there, but like at least here, like I don't think you just don't need. And to me, like the purest form of golf is like carrying and walking. Like that is the purest form.
God, it's like such a throwback to high school golf.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I've been like in college and stuff like we used to walk 36 holes. So I'm excited to become a walker and carrier again.
All right, I'm gonna monitor this. I want to see how you do to see if I can rejoin the ranks.
I mean, that's the only problem with getting a cart bag is like you just will never have that option.
Yeah,
like it's either pull cart or cart. Like there's no in between. So
interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've carried. Probably has been since high school. Maybe like one random time between now and then, but it's been a while.
I've done it a couple times over the last 3-4 years. I've done it 3 times this year already. So we're already on track. Now the only time I won't carry is if I'm playing with my old guys. They all ride. I'm just not going to be that guy that's like walking and everybody else is riding. But like any other time, I'm going to walk and carry. That's the plan.
What's the beer plan then?
Well, I'll tell you, the Vessel bag has a really nice side pocket cooler. So even on the stand bag. So you just got to understand that you're adding weight to your bag. You know what I mean? That's what you got to go in with that understanding. But other than that, it actually does have a really nice pocket for that. So
it's only a couple pounds, 12 ounces.
Yeah, and to me, if I have someone with a push cart with a cooler on it, like I can probably bum them off onto them. You know what I mean?
Somebody's riding in your group, throw them in the
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. What the switch to the lighter bag got me thinking. Like, what's the items that like you took out that were just kind of floating around in there?
Like having rain gloves in there nonstop. Like you know when you're going to end up playing in the rain, and you know when you're not. Like just having them in there seemed silly. Not having like 30 balls in your bag seems like
the
dead ridiculous soldiers, thing.
Yeah, the dead soldiers in my bag is my problem. It's
like
the ones you find or the ones that get scuffed or whatever.
Yeah, take them out.
Stay in there.
Yep, take them out. I had like like all these yardage books in there and stuff. It's like, I don't need, you know what I mean? Like just stupid stuff sitting in there. And it's like, this is why this thing weighs 8,000 pounds. But the biggest thing, the weight difference is like, hey, you only need like 8 to 12 balls in your bag. Like that's all you need. You don't need more than that. If you feel like you do, then that's a problem. But, and like I really cut down on the amount of tees and stuff I have in my, like, you don't need like 150 tees in your bag. Like at the most, you're going to go through 18 in a round.
Yeah.
And if you need more, you reload after one round. Like,
right. I think my struggle is I've never had like an ideal at home like golf stuff set up. So it's always just kind of lived in my bag. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like a place where like, okay, I put my bag here and then like here's a bunch of, the balls, here's some shoes, here's, whatever. I need like a home golf locker is what I'm saying.
So for purposes of this, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you mine. So like obviously I have that over there, right?
Yeah.
All my bags, hats hanging up, and then these things behind me actually have my balls. I've got a couple gloves in that one right there. I've got a couple shoes down there. So I do have you do kind of have to have that because then it's like one place where everything goes.
Yeah.
So like the reason I started this is because like I'd find like I do the Titleist buy 3, get a 4th one for free or whatever. So I have all these balls floating around and I like put them somewhere. I'm like, oh my God, where are they at? Well, now I know where they're at, right? They're in here. I can come get them. It does help to have like a setup where just it doesn't even have to be like I have a little nook here, which is perfect, but like, it doesn't even have to be that. It's like a corner in your basement where it's like, this is all where my golf stuff is.
Yeah, we're in the process of remodeling our basement a bit, and now I'm getting some ideas. This could be dangerous.
I want to put a seated locker here is what my idea behind it. I've never pulled the trigger on it, but I don't think it would be like that crazy expensive to do that.
No, you could do like, there's probably some IKEA stuff you could, piece together to, make a little combo locker, like seating area,
Yeah. But, for a locker, it's got to be, like, natural wood. I feel like that's, like, the only way to go. Like, a natural wood look, like a dark stained wood look. That's, like, the locker room feel, you know?
If you could do, like, a replica sort of, old school, like, clubhouse locker room type thing.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now I got some ideas running through my head now. Have you played golf at all recently?
Well, we finished up our tournament last week. Me and our exalted ruler, Jared.
Oh, yeah?
We played best ball the second round, and we played good. I came shot out of a cannon. I started out 3 under through 6. 3 under through 7, excuse me. So we got out to a really good start. Really windy. Really, really windy. Like, honestly, it was like I was impressing myself. Not like a huge wind player, but I eagled the second hole, birdied the 5th hole. So we got out to a good start. Kind of gave one back on 8. I 3-putted. Jared did not play well the front 9, but my guy played good on the back. He held us together. We ended up finishing 1 under. Kind of slumped it in a little bit, but he shot 37 on the back. He held it together when I was kind of falling apart a little bit. We ended up coming in 10th. So 10th out of like 40 teams or something like that. So we got points in the GCGA point standing, which is never a bad thing. Those are kind of tough to come by, honestly. But no, we both played well. I think he had a couple birdies. I had 2 birdies and an eagle. So it kind of slipped away from us. 3 under would have been the low round of the day. We kind of let that fade away a little bit at the end. Some bad advice from him on 17 for me. I don't know why I let him talk me into hitting a 3-wood when I probably should have hit 2-iron. Got me into a sticky situation. We ended up making bogey, but no, it was good. We played well. Top 10 is you're never going to complain about a top 10. So
no, definitely not. Get those GCGA points. You hold on.
They are hard to come. I mean, like a lot of the events, it's like top 10 is when you get points, and like you see some of these scores and some of these players that play in it. I mean, we had a handful of college kids that were playing in this tournament, and then the underrated part about Cincinnati golf is we just got so many guys in that age group of like 28 to 45 that are just they're so good. Like even at their age, like they don't maybe hit it as far as they used to, but they're really, 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 really good at golf. So
how many rounds has our Exalted Ruler played this year? What's the
I don't know. I'm gonna guess. If I had to take a guess, it's probably around 30 so far. Maybe 40, just knowing the pace he usually goes on.
Yeah, he's already outpaced me for the season.
He is a monster. Like it is truly the one thing that's unexplainable is how many rounds of golf he can actually play.
Yeah, that's some devious behavior there. I don't know about that. Oh man. All right. Well, from us to the pros. Did not catch much of this weekend, to be honest. But Scotty Scheffler won for the first time this year by 8 shots. Shot 31 under. I think I saw he shot 30 or better on the front 9 3 times this week.
Just and like unmitigated beatdown by him first off for the course and everybody else in the field. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like, this tournament probably these are not our favorite types of tournaments.
I don't like them. Yeah,
the Birdie Fest. I will give Scotty a ton of credit. It's so hard to separate in the Birdie Fest just because there's so many. There's 150 guys in the field, and they're all capable of making all those birdies. But yeah, I mean, he led the field strokes gained total, approach, and tee to green. He was 3rd off the tee specifically, and he was 5th in putting. So not going to stop.
Domination is what that is.
Yeah, and I think he bogeyed 1 or 2 late. He was looking at like the course, like the scoring record for the tournament and all that stuff too, and let it get away from him at the end. But either way, dominant performance. Top 5s, EVR 23 under, Sam Stevens 20 under. So like even EVR, he was 3 shots clear of the guy in 3rd and didn't win the tournament. Like
EVR dropping some hard truths afterwards, by the way.
Yeah, about the way the system's going. And all that.
They're like, hey, you qualified for next week's no cut, the Truist, and he's just like, and he kind of like, I don't want to say grumbled, but kind of like, kind of blew it off and like, well, tell us your real. He's like, you really want to hear what I have to think? And he pretty much said it's a disaster for golf. The best fields are when there's 140 something guys because golf is deep, and I think we all kind of knew that. But it's always nice to hear someone like him like say it out loud sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think it comes off as whiny when you take that kind of approach to it.
No, and he was essentially saying like it's stupid that he had to play this well this week to qualify for it, and B, that there's maybe guys that might be struggling a little bit that should be in this next event and they're not. So
right. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's all tough.
Well, it's easy for me, I think, and I think back last year, he kind of said something about when Wyndham was like ladder pulling, now that he's got a major and stuff like that, he kind of was like, Wyndham would have been off the tour with the current rules, before he won his major. So I like guys that are like, it's easy to, shout that you want to pull the ladder up when you're at the top of the tower. But he was kind of like, hey, I'm at the top of the tower. I'm going to play next week and make money regardless. And he's kind of advocating for the fact that there shouldn't be events like this. So,
yeah,
I kind of like that.
It feels like, as we have gotten farther into all this and, Liv has gotten to the point where guys have like quote unquote expiring contracts and stuff, like feels like there's somewhat of another reckoning coming up here with professional golf. No clue what that's going to look like. Spieth, 4th place.
Sunday 62? Right?
Yeah, 62 or 60. He was 9 under, whatever par was. So
yeah.
3rd in tee to green, 5th in approach, 7th off the tee. Hard to take much away from a tournament like this where it's so easy to score, and it's in Texas, like basically right in his backyard. But you'd rather him play this way than not. And I think this is like 3rd or 4th straight top 20. So I don't know. It's always hard to tell with him. Like, especially, us where it's like we want to believe. It's like,
I want to believe so badly that this is the tournament that gets him back on track. But I've been here too many times.
I know. I just worry that it's like he's always been sort of a horse for course kind of player. And when you look back at the last little run here, it's places he's won or done well at already. So it's like let's see where we're at when we go to Quail Hollow in a couple weeks here or whatever.
Yep, for sure. Yeah.
And then tied for fifth, there were literally like 10 guys, so I'm just not going to read off those names. But there you go. There's that. One and done. We of course debated between Spieth, who came in fourth, and our boy Jake Knapp, who just signed us up for a T39 for $40K every week.
Honest living again, baby. It pays the bills. It pays the bills.
We're a top 40 machine. Just we're going to make it to the first cut of the playoffs, but we're definitely not making the Tour Championship at this rate.
And look, it pays the bills though. We're going to retain our card.
It does.
We're not going to sniff the the $15 million FedEx Cup payout, but we're going to be back next year getting top 40s. So.
Exactly. Well, now we're on to the Truist Championship, which was formerly the Wells Fargo, which is normally played at Quail Hollow, but is not because of the PGA Championship. They're playing it at Philly Cricket Club.
Which is going to be sick.
I know. I don't know much about the course, but I've obviously heard a lot about it.
I don't know either, but I just know it's a sick course. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I just have no idea how it's going to play. So making a pick for this is truly a crapshoot. You got any early thoughts? Any strategy? Anything?
My heart wants to go with our guy, but
yeah,
knowing what I know, the very little bit of what I know about the course, I don't think this is going to be a good setup for our guy. So
no, it's a par 70, and I think it's like 7,200 yards. So long par 70 doesn't feel like where we
does not feel like the Jordan Spieth week.
No.
I mean, again, it's an elevated event, so I feel like we got to go with the top guy. Vegas is believing in Jordan a little bit. He's only about 8th on the odds list here, so coming off a good week, maybe he's turning a corner.
I don't know how popular this player will be, but there's no Scotty in the field. And it really makes me want to consider taking Xander.
He was one that kind of popped off the list a little bit. Have we played Victor yet? Yeah, we played Victor.
No, we have not used Victor.
He was another one that I was like, God, this feels like just a week going into a major that he might pop off a win, just for the hell of it, kind of thing. Like what he did at the Memorial a couple years ago is like, going into a U.S. Open, he wins at Memorial, and it's like, oh, here we go. He always seems like he has that win where it's like, are we back? Like, is he going to win a major? And then, I don't know. That's kind of my thinking behind it. I'm trying to use non-statistical things. Obviously, we don't have a lot of. This is a new course that they're playing, so that's even more where I was just gut feeling looking at the list. Like Xander was one, and then Victor was the other one.
We're seeing the board the same way, which is either really good or really bad. Because I had the same exact thoughts. I was like, all right, Spieth, he's in form. Maybe we use him. Then I was like, no, never mind. And my eyes were drawn to Xander and Victor.
Yeah.
And those are the two that I have for whatever reason.
If I had to say best for course setup, I think it's probably a Victor course.
What's the around the green like? Do you need to be able to chip? That's my only question. I don't know. There's a lot of bunkers. That's the most bunkers on tour. I think I saw that stat. That's my only concern.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Victor just ball strikes the shit out of it.
It won't
even matter.
Yeah. Do we trust him to do that yet? I don't know.
I want to. I want to believe.
Yeah. Same. I mean, it feels like a play. I don't know. Feels like a good spot. And I guarantee he's going to be nobody's going to have him. So if we were to somehow sneak
I think we got to swing for the ball. We got to swing for the fences there.
Fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, I think we got to swing for the fences there. We don't trust our gut enough. Our gut said Jordan Spieth last week, and we were like, oh, well, Jake Knapp. Yeah, you know what I mean? My gut said Victor the whole time. I kind of toyed him with Xander a little bit. That was my initial gut feeling was the Victor, just because, like I said, right before a major, he's going to get a win. You're going to think he's going to go play well next week, and he's not. It just seems very Victor-like.
God, this is the pick is in. Nothing we can do about it now. Well, we can, but I'm going to keep it the same.
Okay.
But this feels like a DFL in the no cut event.
Look, honest living though, it's still that sticks with the.
It'll get us our $40K.
It pays for our travel expenses. You know what I mean? So.
Good God, yeah. All right, Victor Hovland, let's do it. The official Back 9 6 pack.
I don't know about you, but I feel good about it this week.
Play of the week, yeah. I mean, I don't know why I was drawn to him either. So that's maybe it's a good thing that we're just
gut
the stars
feeling.
are aligning. The garage beers, Victor Hovland.
Yeah, I think so. It feels right. It feels good, actually.
Okay. You feel better about it than I do, but I'll ride.
Like we're gonna be first to the Victor show. Okay, that's my feeling on this.
He's like 96% available, so
perfect. We're gonna be first.
I highly doubt he's more than 5% owned.
You know what they say? It's about being first, not being the best. So we're gonna pick him first and get his win right off the bat, and then everybody's gonna be jumping on the Victor train.
That's fine. Let's do it. I hope. I pray for that. Jeez. Yeah, we're in 3,751st place.
Not great.
No. 2.3 mil. So this would definitely jump us up quite a bit to get a little 4 million into the pot.
Yes.
All right. Motoring through this episode tonight, it is already time for Patio Beers, where anything goes on the patio. Do you want to kick us off? You said you had a good question.
I have a really good question, and it's golf related. I saw this and it hit home because there's so many golf courses that have these like small things that not golf related that make it like legendary or cool, or you remember that. So what is something that a course can have that has nothing to do with golf that like make you love the golf course, or like it makes it legendary? Like what's that list look like for you?
God, that's such a sick question. You're right. That is a good question. I don't know if I have them any kind of order, but like just things that come to mind. Any kind of like legitimate bridge is sick.
Yeah. Bridges is on my list. It's not number one, but Bridges is. Look, I'm going to be crossing a very popular bridge here in about 2.5 weeks. I think if you talk to someone that didn't know anything else about St. Andrews, they'd probably talk about the bridge. If they did Google, like that bridge would come up first, right?
Yeah, bridges are sick. They're mostly all like infrastructure things, right? Like our course has a well by the putting green. I don't know why that's sick, but
it is kind of sick. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the wishing well, baby.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Jason Kennedy, just re-shingled the wishing well. So shout out to him.
Definitely shout out to Jason. If you need your roof repaired, that's your guy.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing. I mean, if you're taking outside of like, obviously like a sick or like old school clubhouse is definitely elevates a golf course.
Yeah.
The like back patio post round scene is always something I'm interested in.
Yeah, like a good patio, or good like overlooking like the 18th hole. It's got to be 18. You can't have the patio like overlooking like the second green or something stupid like that, or 9. I hate when they're like overlooking 9. I'm like, no one wants to see this.
Yeah. I mean, who has a really sick one that's near to us is Pebble Creek, because it's got you see 18 and the like island green.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it is good.
Good spot for that course. Those immediately come to mind. I'm sure there are others. What else? What's on your list?
I mean, number one is a good like sign.
Oh,
Bethpage.
Yeah,
they've got a sign. Warning. Blah blah blah. Olympic Club's got a warning about being a highly skilled golfer. Something about a sign. And it doesn't even have to be like, oh, this course is so hard. Like, just something like that, I think is kind of cool.
Definitely.
I already said that Bridges was on my list. I really love a course that has like stairs, like built into hills. I think that's a really cool like added feature to a course.
Yeah.
Specifically like going to like a back tee box. Well-placed benches, I think, is underrated.
Yeah. Benches are definitely underrated. Yeah.
I think it's Arcadia Bluffs up in Michigan has a bagpiper that plays at sunrise and sunset. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. Has nothing to do with golf whatsoever. Then you start thinking about courses like overseas, like a good bar next to the course, or like, you have like the Jigger Inn and stuff like that. Like, I think that's always kind of cool. I think a town, like a small town attached to a golf course, always makes it a little bit cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not a big city, nothing like that, but like the scene of the golf course, like where it's at, things like that. I think that matters. Like the entrance, like I always talk about Caledonia down in Pawleys Island. They have one of the coolest entrances to the golf course. Like when you're pulling in, than almost any golf course I think I've ever played. Now I've never been Augusta. I've never gone down Magnolia Lane. It's pretty good. I think an entrance is a cool thing to have too.
Yeah, definitely a cool thing to have. Man, I'm trying to think some
not talked about, like the sign that says the golf course name. Like there's some good ones out there.
Well, and there are some places like just don't have anything,
or they'll have like a post with like yeah. That's kind of cool. That's like a low key flex if you don't like need like a gigantic sign.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy a course not with dangerous wildlife, but like wildlife involved is always cool.
Yeah, I played Gray Walls up in Marquette, Michigan, which is in the Upper Peninsula. Only time I've seen a bear and a wolf in the same round of golf. That's kind of cool. Like a little terrifying, but
we've there's bald eagles in our area, and we see those fly over. Shout out to Tony, or the Hawks.
Tony and Ethan. I think if we see another one this year, I think the next name needs to be AJ. I think that feels right. But yeah, we like good wildlife is never a bad thing. I mean, especially a bald eagle, like that's dope.
Super sick. Man, there has to be so many other things. I do think that any course that has like any other kind of, I'm talking beyond like tennis or something, right? Like, but like another kind of activity, I think is always cool. Like you always, the Greenbrier is like famous for doing like falconry and clay shooting and like it's like a true like sportsman club, if you will.
I know this kind of has to do with golf, but I think like an elite first tee setup, not like the first tee itself, like having a plate like right next to the clubhouse, or I think that's always cool. I think we at our course have an elite first tee setup. Like if you go off the red course, I think it's pretty elite.
Yeah, I mean you're right there by the putting greens, just steps away from the clubhouse
is right. Shop. I mean the pro shop's right there. Like
I do enjoy a course where it's like you're like in on the action, even if you're not being off. Yeah. It kind of sucks when you get there and you got to go drive out to a hole and there's nobody around or whatever. Like it's nice that there's like the activity around the first hole.
For sure. Yep. Absolutely.
I also like courses that just have like either memorial stuff on it or like some kind of along your signage line, but a little bit different, but like, plaques or things like just things that recognize stuff that aren't even related to golf. I think
I told you they're going to name that creek on 6 White after me. Like when I'm gone, like that creek is going to have my name on it. Like I don't know how much money I'm going to have to donate to make that happen, but we will make that happen.
Yeah, I mean we have a literal cemetery in the middle of one of our fairways.
Which is I kind of think it's cool.
Yeah, it's gated off with an American flag by it, and there's a big oak tree or whatever that's right there too. Yeah,
I was gonna say like something like that, or landmarks like Rays Creek obviously comes to mind, but like a creek or you go over there and they've got like in Scotland and stuff, they got like bunkers that have like a nickname, right?
Oh yeah,
I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, man. I hope there's other stuff people think of because I feel like there's more.
I feel like we're missing something. Yeah, I do feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, that's a great question. That good call on that one. My question. I think I sent this thread to you guys last night. There's an epidemic of the big letter hats going on.
It's more than an epidemic. It might be the end of golf. I don't know. It might be the downfall of golf.
And so I did. I was just thinking about like what are there other things in golf It can be merchandise or otherwise. Like, what are the worst things in golf? Like, what are the things like the big letter hats?
I think we went through a stint back in like the early 2000s with like plaid shorts. I think that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like that's the first one that comes to mind. I think the whole belt buckle, look, I was a belt buckle guy there for a little bit, but belt buckles, like the gaudy belt buckles, we went through a time when those were popular, and I don't think they're very good.
The thing for me is like, those things I bought and participated in. And maybe that's just because I was young and dumb, whatever.
I think it is. I think you get smarter when you get in your 30s that you're like, I'm not going to be part of that crowd.
The big block letter hats is just something I would never go for. Like, I don't know that there's anything that ranks below it in terms of golf stuff that I would not own.
And I think what it is, it's not necessarily the hat itself, right? I think it's the trouble that people go through to get their course name or whatever they're trying to say onto the hat.
Yeah, like the gymnastics it requires to make it work.
I have a G4 hat, right? I was given to me by the Greater Cincinnati Golf Association. Okay. What we know as GCGA. That looks perfectly normal on that hat. It's like, oh, yeah, I know what GCGA is. Like, it's the Greater Cincinnati Golf Association. Like, that looks normal. That hat is fine. I will wear that hat. It's a G4 one. It's got big letters, but it's a golf association. It makes sense. Where I have the problem, like what we saw at the PGA last year, holla. Well, no one calls Valhalla holla. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I've never heard anybody call Valhalla holla. So, like, they're going out of their way to be able to sell that hat because they know there's at least 9,000 dummies that are going to buy that hat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. I think it's just unbecoming of golf, to be honest. That's kind of my take on it. Especially when you see, like, Pinehurst is putting out these, like, P-Hurst hats.
Yeah. My point exactly. You're going through, like, they're like, we don't care how dumb this is, but it's going to make money and we're going to do it. That's the feel it has, right? Like, because the Pinehurst one is beyond dumb. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, there's some other ones. Hold on, I'm going to go back to this. I want to go back to this thread because there's truly some, like, really, really, really bad ones. Shame on Royal Doorknock, by the way. They have a Foxy hat that they put out. Let's see, there's like Barstool did a BRSTL. Like, I hate that. Like, it's almost, some of these are like, you don't even know what they're trying to say only because they're like so abbreviated down.
Yeah, and the Foxy one only makes sense if you know anything about the golf course, which is, it's named after one of their holes is named Foxy.
Yes. Yeah. But still.
Like, you're just walking around with a Foxy hat on. Like
Pinehurst has another one that just says Deuce on it.
Ugh. God bless. Yeah.
I will say Augusta did themselves no favors this year.
No. Unbecoming, truly.
They did a skip it hat, which, look, everybody knows. Everybody tries to skip it on 16. We get it. But that's terrible. That's just, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, that one. They had a couple hats that were, I can't remember all.
Yeah, that was just like one that I was thinking of. There was another one. Oh, Aaron Hills has like ERN Hills. Like, that's so bad. So, like, I just hope this is like a commonly, like, outside of like the loud few, I hope this is like a commonly accepted, this is bad for golf take.
I don't know that it's going to be. I give them too many shout outs, but shout out to No Laying Up. They're doing the true watchdog work on this right now. They posted a thread, people collecting and submitting ones that they've seen in the wild. So, do we have them at our club? I'm pretty sure we probably do.
No, we don't.
We don't.
All right. Shout out to Sean. Like, he's not the best in the apparel. He's very old school, but I'm so happy he never.
That might be good then. We might never.
He never took to that. He never fell into the money making trap of big letter hats.
Yeah, I could just see the Elks ELKS one.
But at least that makes a little more sense. Like, it does make like, it's not like, HML Elks. You know what I mean? Or something I don't know.
We might get to that point. You never know.
God.
Or it'll just be like the Lodge or something. It'll be.
Actually, that's kind of sick.
No. Stop it.
Kidding.
Stop it.
Kidding.
Yeah, but long story short, I honestly don't think there's anything nothing comes to my mind that there's like I would want less than those hats in terms of golf stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think. I think the closest thing is like people were doing some like ridiculous belt buckles.
Yeah,
like there were people out there that were just doing some ridiculous thing with golf belt buckles. Ours was classy in college. Like we all got belt buckles, but it like had the dragon on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like overly big. Like it was like just big enough you saw the dragon. But like there were some people wearing some like the big Nike belt buckles. You remember those? Like they had the swoosh and you're like,
look, I have one of those.
We were young and dumb. That's what we're chalking it up to.
God, so bad. Yeah, I found that when we moved, I actually found the belt buckle in my drawer, like my top drawer in my dresser, and I threw it away.
I still have my college one. It's not on a belt. It's
that's
retired.
A little it's kind of like a little memorabilia piece.
Yeah, it's retired. It's packed away. But it will never be back on a belt. It's done for good.
God.
Yeah. Well, hey, we did skip something though. We did have one fan mail. And I'm going to PG it because it was...
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's my bad.
This is going to be the PG version of it, but we talked last week, like what we would need to go to prison.
Yep.
Shout out to Hinkle. Again, this is very PG. This was not exactly what he said, but in the abbreviated version, he said, is this a jail there where I'm like going to get beat up, or am I playing like chess and tennis? No, it's definitely a jail you're going to like worry about getting jumped every day. Like that's we're talking about prison.
Yeah.
Like a real prison, with real criminals, not like the white collar criminals, that are in there for like insider trading and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's what we were thinking of.
He asked that question and then immediately followed up with like, either way, I'm out on prison. Like, okay. Glad you had to clarify.
Yeah. Like it was going to make a difference and then it actually doesn't make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I would probably do less if you're going to like send me in there with like a bunch of like white collar criminals. I think the education you could get from being in there with some of those people and the connections, I think I would take a little less, honestly. That's kind of like, I would still need a lot of money to skip 5 years of my life. But if like instead of 10, like I would take like 7 a year. If I'm going to spend time in jail with like Martha Stewart or like Snoop Dogg or something like that, like I will take less money.
Sure. If you're in the celebrity jail, I guess like at least you'd have some interesting conversations.
Yeah, or you just make the connections. You come out and you're like at a Snoop Dogg concert, you're like, hey, and he knows who you are because you spent time in prison together. Like that, I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah,
it's a whole different level. But I was actually thinking about this after my run yesterday. The whole idea where we were talking about like, okay, the 1 year versus a 5 year is so different just because like the mentality
massively different.
It's like the difference in counting up versus counting down. So it's like when you start the run yesterday, it's like, oh, I got like 10 more miles to go. Like you're counting up to 13 versus, down from it.
Yep.
When you hit the halfway point or whatever. So that I realized like that's the real issue here is the mentality of it.
Yep. Well, and most people I talk to are like, yeah, like I would take less money for like 1 year. For like it would be like $5 million for 1 year because you're not like 1 year you're just not missing out on much. But I think I guess it would matter for some like what kind of prison you're going to. But yeah, we were talking about prison like murderers and things like that. Prison, so
yeah. Definitely the place you don't want to be.
Not Wall Street prison. Like we're talking like backwoods, streets prison. So
for sure. Yeah. Thanks for getting that in. My bad on skipping that. Sorry, Hinkle. I apologize. All right. Nice tidy episode tonight. We like that. We'll be back for more next week. I think the week after you will officially be in Scotland.
Yeah. I'm still up in the air about that. I think with the time change, I might actually be able to do it. So we'll see.
You're wild. I would not expect you to.
Well, you got to remember, like I'll be about getting up when we usually do our episode. So
it's only 5 hours.
6.
It's 6.
It's still pretty early.
That's pretty early, man. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll figure out what the program is going to look like.
Maybe if we have a late night that night or something, I'll be coming back.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be a much more interesting podcast too, to be honest with you. So we'll figure that out. But next week we'll be talking PGA Championship, which will be very exciting, of course, for Major Week, and then we send our beautiful boy off to Scotland.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We were within 2 weeks. I am very excited.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, sir, I'll see you Wednesday, league night.
Yes.
For everybody else out there, thank you for listening, watching. Please subscribe, rate, review the show. Hit the like button. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. And until next time, cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six-Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six-Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.